Why we must always appreciate learning Torah. There are some people in this world that they don't get the chance to learn Torah. Either again mentally they're not here. Some people are sick, they cannot learn Torah. They can't learn Torah. They don't have time, and again, that's one of the things of the Yetzer Hara. He burdens us with so much time, right? He gives us debt, and he gives us this, and he gives us that. And so you got to work, keep working, be slave, and what happens to the Torah? No one pays her any attention. Right? We should appreciate that Hashem gave us a mind to think about Torah, eyes to see the Torah, ears to hear the Torah, mouth to speak it. And then we have to be appreciative when we have an opportunity to fulfill the mitzvah. Because even fulfilling a mitzvah is a schut. It's not a borul me'alav. It's not already obvious, like take it for granted that a person can do mitzvot. A person has to earn the mitzvah. If the mitzvah doesn't come his way, he has to go find it. But even then, if Hashem wants him to fulfill it, he will cause him to fulfill it. But if not, he will all of a sudden find he has a flat tire, he can come to the shear, what happened, 15 billion excuses. That's another thing of the Yetzer Hara. The blindness that comes not from lack of knowledge, but from an ignorance of heart. What that means is that he's doing mitzvot. He doesn't even appreciate that it's an opportunity. He comes to the class and sits there and says, okay, not one class, two classes, I'll come and show up. He doesn't appreciate it. That kind of person is going to walk also with a blindness. And when he's going to be falling into the pits of blindness, meaning he's going to be stumbling over averot, he will not only will he not say that they're averot, but Hashem won't even allow him. Not only will he not do mitzvot, but Hashem won't even allow him to see that they are averot. That's even worse. He's doing averot and thinks that they're mitzvot. And what does he do? He makes excuses. I'm a good person. I told you, the Mizrahi said that we quoted the story from, but there was a rub that a certain guy was cheating and stealing, and came with money. He said, Rabbi, I will give you a donation. I'll give you a donation. Like $50,000 donation. I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. $50,000 for your yeshiva, for the programs, for this. You need the money. Well, why not? So he said, I don't want to be an aid. I don't want to help your conscience to go away. The person is giving the money. Why? Because he feels he's wrong. So he feels like if I'm going to give the money, that's it. I'm going to do teshuvah. I said, go do teshuvah. After 2 years, come back and let's see if you still want to give the money. If you still want to give the money, okay, then I understand it's purified money. But if not, then what's the person going to do? He's going to give the money, and he's going to go back to his evil ways. Because he has the excuse. I gave the money, I feel good, I clocked in, I clocked out. What's the problem? No problem, right? What's the problem? So this is the other falsity, the other fakeness that the Yetzer Hara feeds off of, is to show us that something is kosher and it's not only kosher. You have to go out and make a parnasah, right? Yeah. But who said you have to do that halacha? Cheating, stealing, things that are not it's anua. Who says you have to go through all that stuff? That wasn't written in the contract. Hashem knows each person's thing, and just to answer your question, because he has to go out, he should. If he knows the value of Torah, he will begin to appreciate Torah a lot more. That means that every time that means Shabbat, where will you find this kind of person? If he really appreciates Torah, Hashem will test him. Where will you find him on Shabbat? In the Bet Midrash. Because that's the only time I got to learn. If he really appreciates Torah, that's where you're going to find him waking up 4 o'clock in the morning, getting to learn. Because he knows he's only got 25 hours of Shabbat, and within that time he's going to have to eat a little bit, he's going to have to daven a little bit, he's going to have to sleep a little bit. Other than that, he wants to learn Torah all day. Or does he just say he wants to learn Torah? It's a thing to do, it's a good thing. He really wants to, but he doesn't really want to. Because going back to what we said, Adam ki yamut bo'eh. How do you know you acquire Torah? When you're willing to sacrifice your sleep for Torah. When you're willing to sacrifice your stomach for Torah. So okay, he's a little hungry, he's willing to write. He knows he's on the clock. He knows that if he dilly-dallies and he sleeps for another hour, that's one more hour of Torah he's done learning. It's one more hour. Again, I'm not saying again that a person should sleep 2 hours a night. I'm saying if a person sleeps 6 hours, 7 hours, and all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock already, he should have been out of it already. Because that's time that he's not learning Torah. Even if a person says, okay, I'm going to daven a little time. You shouldn't. Daven time. You can. Even beyachida, as you saw Lacha, I think you said, even if you can, it's preferable to daven netzach hama by himself than daven with a minyan havetz. Okay? By himself. By himself. But Amen Kaddish, by himself, netzach hama, that's Zman Raui. And yet people are going to sleep and stay. Why is not people up by 5 o'clock in the morning? Learning. If he really appreciates, if he tastes it, and Torah becomes the oxygen, you should do it. Again, these are the spots that a person gets to. How does he get to that spot? How do you get to a spot where you want to learn Torah every morning? Because if you know it's in a relationship, if you know you're in a relationship with a person, then the only way you're going to communicate with him is in the books, in the Sfarim. This is where God talks to you. So this is where you're talking to God, and you want to talk back to God. How are you going to communicate with him? You want to talk with language, talk with lingo. That's where the Torah becomes an interface. And when we spoke about it in the first paragraph, right? That he calls mitzvot, Rav calls them Emsai, middleman. Translation. They become Google Translate between you and the Baruch Hu. That's all mitzvot are. They become a way that we can understand the Baruch Hu, feel the Baruch Hu, live the Baruch Hu. When we start to understand who we are and what we're all about, it becomes very obvious to us what we need to do. Of course we want to go and we want to do Kedusha. Of course we want to bring Shlokim to the world. And again, this goes back to the person who goes to work and has actually this opportunity. When he's walking around the kippah, but there's another halacha. There are some halachot in the that really, truthfully, kippah is a minhag. You don't find a halacha in the Torah that the person has to wear kippah. We have to wear just to cover his head, whatever. But where the kippah comes from? So what in Mishnah Berurah? Mishnah Berurah says, right. So you see the Mishnah Berurah. First of all, the kohen will wear the tefillin, right? He have on his special covering, right? A turban, right? So that's where you get a special hat. So today, the people wear hats. Right, in the daven. That's what you see when you come to daven, the people are mimicking the Kohen. That's why you do a jacket. Coat. Right? You have special me'id. You have a belt. Special belt. So again, they're mimicking this the way that the Kohen was doing. So the halacha brings down that the Mishnah Berurah says that the yarmulke, you ever hear of the yarmulke? Right? It's like American Jews, they call it yarmulke, right? The old-time American Jews call it yarmulke. Yeah, yarmulke, yeah. So where they get that word from? Actually, Mishnah Berurah brings it down. It's comprised of the word yarei malchut, fear godly kingdom. Yarei malchut, yar malka, yar melech, right? Yar malka. But Rav Vadia brings it down, the Yosef brings down Rav Vadia, that a person in this generation is a chiyuv to wear kippah, because that signifies that he's Shomer Torah in his book. Today, it's no longer a minhag. Today, it's a chiyuv. Because if someone's not wearing Torah kippah, it's just a sign that he's not so into Torah in his book. Not so following. So first to be Kiddush Hashem. But again, with a kippah on his head, he now has a responsibility. So all eyes are on him. If he walks the wrong way, if he talks the wrong way, if he doesn't hold the door for somebody the right way, what are you going to say? Oh, please. Right? Better perhaps than you didn't wear a kippah. Yeah. No, but that's a serious Chilul Hashem. And just so you know, how do you take Chilul Hashem? What is Chilul Hashem? Chilul Hashem is one of the gravest sins a person can do. What happens to a person do? So most sins, if he fasts and does all the Yisurim and goes to Yom Kippur, okay, he can earn cleanliness. But Chilul Hashem, on top of all that, also has to have what's called Mikam Mishunach Hashem. Has to have a strange type of death. Also has to, in order to be Mechaper Chilul Hashem. So just so we understand how great Chilul Hashem is. And also don't even think that the Chilul Hashem is just out in public. A person knows from Mechaper Hashem in private too. With him himself in Hashem. Chilul Hashem means to make Hashem Chilul means like hole, kal. Kal means like to dig a hole. Making a place for God to get into the background. Emptiness. Right? If you're allowing the emptiness of a moment of godliness in our life, then that's a chilul of a Hashem. We make godliness empty in that moment. So with this point, this idea so I think we covered. One last thing, and we'll get to that. The two things. In this last chapter 3, there's an idea in criminal law. Right? Something from the outside world. Just knowledge from the outside world. Right? There's an idea called the broken windows approach. This was incorporated in New York, right, by Mayor Giuliani, who was the chief of the police department. That what was broken windows approach? If the person did a small infraction, a small crime, they would right away lock him up. Small crime, he just did graffiti, lock him up. His murderer's up, lock him up. And they found that over 3 or 4 years, crime started to drop considerably. How? Because if you stop a lot of the small stuff, the big stuff inevitably will also drop. So this is where we need to get to apply this same concept to Torah. Right? If you put a fence around. So if you know that walking a certain street is not good for you, make sure you don't walk 2 streets next to that street. If you know that eating a certain food is not good for you, make sure that you put 2 fences in front of it. If a person knows that a particular device, make the proper necessary, because if you stop small things, again, is it an avirat to have a phone? No. But a phone could be used for avirot. So he has to understand, that there's a danger here, like we've been speaking about all day. His zihirut michshol baderech. It's a problem going along this path. If a person knows that there's a problem, he needs to make a gader, a fence around it. I'm only going to use the phone 4 times a day. I'm only going to use the phone when it rings. I'm only going to use the phone in order to make a business call. That's it. Other than that, the phone is not next to me. Whatever it is. Again, whatever a person wants to make the gader. But that's broken windows approach. He's stopping the small stuff, even things that might be small infractions. So he sent a derogatory text to his friend. Okay, he speaks Lashon Hara to his... But in order to stop that, he has to get the phone out of his hands. He has to do things that are stopping the way. And the last thing, again, that a person, again, we said it has to always be in tefillah. Like it says in the Gemara Brachot, that Adam haya b'tefillah kol yom. A person should have been in tefillah all day. What does that mean? Not literally, right? But he's constantly praying to Hashem, like we said before, when will I get to go learn Torah? When will I get to learn? He's doing work. He said, Hashem, please help me finish the work so I can go learn Torah. He's eating, saying, Hashem, please help me eat quickly so I can, not quickly, but efficiently and with small amounts so that I can go learn Torah. He says, sleep, he says, Hashem, please help me that I rest fully so I can go learn Torah. His whole entire day becomes all revolved around Limud Torah. When a person is in that category, he is emphasizing Zihirut. Because he's a walking, talking, living Sefer Torah. That's why the halakha says that when a Rav or Chacham walks in the door, we stand up. Why do we stand up? Because the halakha says, where did they learn that from? Because when the Sefer Torah walks in, you stand up. Is this person laying less than Sefer Torah? He's a walking, talking, breathing Sefer Torah. For sure, you stand up for him. That's the level a person can get to. With that in mind, to do a quick idea on Shavuot. We know that there are 600,000 Jews, right? Samach Ribu. There are 600,000 Jews, and it's brought down in the Gemara. Again, not literally, don't think it's literally, but there are 600,000 letters in the Torah. The truth is, there's not. There's less than 600,000 letters in Torah, but 3,000 something. Yeah. 600,000 letters in the Torah. Every time you count the Jews, right? Right. So every time you right.